You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
Yeah, as I was saying, I'm afraid that, people that don't know the team and don't know the Dolphins know, we know that Tua didn't necessarily lose that game, but he didn't help the narrative that this team should get Deshaun or, all that crazy nonsense. And the big time guys at ESPN that just, take what the producer gives them and reads what he says that the narrative is today is that Tua did good. He made 4 touchdowns, but he threw 2 interceptions and lost the Dolphins. And does this mean Deshaun Watson's coming? And it makes it hard, because I think Tua's a great quarterback. I think he did crazy things, even by his standards. I think both of those interceptions, one at the right before the half, which then the D just lets up a big, massive play to put him on, get a field goal. And then one right before the end of the game when he was trying to win the game, and then they marched down and iced the game. And, it's that's what people are going to remember. That's what the owner's looking at. And I don't know, man, do you think it's the nail in his coffin, metaphorically speaking?
I think regardless of how Tua threw an interception today, that was always going to be the stick to beat him with. I think it's been how it's been at his time in Miami. I've spoken quite a lot on this podcast about how last season Tua having his 1 touchdown, no interception games for 180 yards and the Dolphins getting a win wasn't good enough for fans last season. They wanted those Herbert numbers, the 300 yards, 300 touchdown games. That is what Miami fans wanted. Miami fans now have what they wanted. Tua's putting up quote unquote Herbert numbers, and the Dolphins are losing. I think, especially after that first interception. No, the second one. Yeah, I think after the second interception, I think I tweeted that the race for Watson is on, because I think by that time Sam Darnold had been benched in for the Panthers. Watson Tua had thrown 2 interceptions, and my timeline was people just going, I'm done with him now. I don't care, he can go. And then Tua drove down the field, scored a touchdown, put the Dolphins up to win the game, and the defense just gave up a long drive, and the Falcons ultimately win. Listen, I'm not of the belief that Tua cost the Dolphins that game today. I know people say that Tua's interceptions, yielded 10 points for the Falcons. The Falcons win by 2 points, I guess. But to me, it was mistakes on offense, Tua's 2 interceptions, defense giving up long drives, which cost the Dolphins 10 points, and then the blocked field goal, which, like I said to you before during the game, didn't happen last year. So it's easy to say that Tua's turnovers cost the team X amount of points. Jason Sanders probably scores that field goal, and the Dolphins win 31-30. So it was to me personally, the team lost. You win as a team, you lose as a team. To me, the Miami Dolphins lost. But like you said, those 2 interceptions, that's all we're going to hear about this week. Every single Watson to Miami rumor, it will be led by Tua, 3 2 interceptions. Ignore the 4 touchdowns. He threw 2 interceptions, and that's what matters.
That's exactly what I mean. You couldn't be more directly over the target. The pundits are only going to see what they've been already saying. Tua's not Herbert, and it's terrible too, because not only are we measuring Tua to Deshaun Watson, but we're measuring him to Herbert, and it's like a rock between a hard place. And He threw 4 touchdowns today. He looked really good. Those were 2 ugly interceptions. And I know what people will say that are even fans of the team but don't want to. They'll say, we've seen him do that, where he's getting hit, coming down, throws it up, and it's just short. And then other people will be like, oh, you know what? Like my brother-in-law, he says he's a Dolphins fan, but he's like, Tua does not have an NFL-type arm. But even him that never believed in Tua can look at that game, saw those interceptions, and said the kid didn't lose the game. But it's too hard to look at something where you think it's the answer. You don't know it is, but when they look at Deshaun, they think it's the answer. And it's hard to control the owner. I mean, we love the team. He owns the team, and he's made it clear. And a game like today, and the Panthers benching their starter, we talked about this before, me and you off air, about I could see that maybe the Panthers were never in it, because from what I understand, Deshaun's always wanted to play for Miami. He's a Miami loving. He bleeds aqua and orange growing up. It's where his dream would be. I could see a 3-team, trade going on where Carolina gets Tua and whatever capital comes in goes in the trade for Deshaun. Maybe this chatter, and this wouldn't be uncommon in the NFL either, where you think another team's trading for somebody and you hear, oh, there's 3 teams trading for this one guy. And then you turn around and one team was trading, but the other one was trading something else, what they were given, and they got capital. That happens all the time in the NFL. We see it quite often. After the game, and I sent you the link, if you watched it, to the Tua thing, he looked like he was talking to fans of his, saying, I did everything I could. He had a great quote. He said, I can't really do much about it, but it's only my 2nd year. I only know what I know now. And as a rookie, I wish I knew what I knew now then, and so on and so forth. And Omar Kelly asked, how do you keep the trade rumors out? It's a distraction for us. I couldn't imagine in a game with so much pressure where not only is it just psychological and physical, but just all the other anxieties that come with playing it, the ups and downs of that kind of game, to be thinking about, I'm not even wanted here. I'm putting my body on the line. Whether he's thinking it all the time or not, he hears it. He said today, there's no way not to hear it. And really, I'm just waiting for my phone to do the ding. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened in 48 hours. I think it'll always happen right before the trade deadline. I honestly, my brother-in-law, like I said, I was talking to him about it, but I think it's going to cost what I think it'll cost. 3 first-round picks, Howard, and probably a second. I think they're thinking after that loss from the Dolphins, and Stephen Ross is like, to hell with this. Whatever they want. They could get more, and the Panthers know that we're serious. Maybe they are going after it. There's a lot of maybes happening because this is all speculation. But this is the position we put ourselves as fans, as an organization. When you lose football games, you look how to fix them, because this is $1 billion, business, billions of dollars. Stephen Ross has probably sunk in $10 million since he bought the team, or $1 billion easily. You want results. We want results. I love Tua, but I think, I don't think they're ready to give him a year or 2. I think they're like, let's do the quick fix. And we've done that before, and it's blown up in our faces and not worked out. But one thing we haven't had, and I don't think Tua's not this, we haven't had a guaranteed marquee player. We talked about it last time we talked, where no one's drafting anyone in the Dolphins in the top first round in fantasy football. If you get a top quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, he might not be in the first round or towards the low. You know how fantasy works, but he's a top player you're picking. And not only that, but once you have that top player you're picking, usually there's 1 or 2 guys on offense that are top players that are getting, the big runs, the big catches, the big everything. That's kind of where we find ourselves. It's not fun to watch. Fans aren't, turning up, but we're turning on each other. We talked about that last time. It's friggin' ugly, bro. And it just continues to fester. And I think a lot of it is manufactured, not maliciously, but they put themselves by betting on, like I said last time, young talent, young players, and it's just not working. And I like things I saw. I like seeing, Holland get punts. I liked Myles Gaskin on the kickoff. That was a cool thing. Myles Gaskin killed it today. Mike Gesicki had 80-plus yards, and a touchdown. I mean, the numbers look pretty decent. The players played decent. The defense failed us in Tua threw 2 interceptions. And the owner's like, well, if Tua wasn't here and I had Deshaun Watson, he's the guy that wills me to win no matter what. He doesn't throw the interception at the end of that thing. He runs a touchdown and does a front flip, and I get to have my Sports Center highlight, and I get to be cool and all that stuff. We don't get none of that, and Ross is right. He's right. We don't get none of that. And I hate to say he's right for a guy that has all these legal problems, that has all this crap and baggage with them, and to potentially fix the problem, it could make a lot of fans walk away from this team. But I think, every lifelong Dolphin fan who's been watching this team a long time that says that they're willing to walk away because of a person is full of it, dog. They're full of, I don't want to cuss, but they're full of shit. They're full of shit. Because if you're coming back and the Dolphins are in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game, 2 games away from the Super Bowl, you can bet your ass you're sitting there. I'm a Dolphins fan. I've been waiting for this my whole life. I know I hate this quarterback, but I'm about to win a Super Bowl. And winning cures all. And it sucks because it's like evil stuff we're talking about here.
Yeah.
But make no bones about it, guys. This is a business. And right now, business is bad. It's ugly. And it's not Tua's fault. And Deshaun Watson ain't the guaranteed answer. But outside of the fans being lined up with pitchforks outside the stadium, which is we've seen in the NFL before, as Philadelphia, their fans are throwing rocks at the new coach and stuff in the 70s and 80s. It's not that ugly, but we're turning on each other. Fans are walking away. We got a guy that's a potential problem, outside the field for an A-plus guy who's so it's like, dude, do we make the deal with the devil? I don't know, man. It's just so freaking – it's a terrible thing. And all this is from losing to the Falcons, losing to the Jaguars. If we would have won one of these 2 games, we wouldn't be sitting here crying boo-hoo. If we would have won them both, we'd be like, Deshaun who? Let's go Tua. But that's not what happened. We lost by a field goal to some of the worst teams in the league, bro. And by the looks of it, if Deshaun's not on this team and Tua's not on this team and they can't play Deshaun and we play against the Texans in 2 weeks, Texans going to spank our ass. And we're going to be there with 1 win, 7 losses, because the Bills are going to beat the brakes off us next week, bro. I don't even want to think about I got a couple of bets going. I keep mentioning my brother-in-law because he's my brother-in-law. He got nothing to do with this, but he got a bet going on in Iowa. And he goes, what do you think the spread's going to be next week? I'm like, bro, shut up, dude. I don't want to hear what the spread's going to be when Buffalo comes to beat our brakes off. Shut up, man. Ross is going to have to sit there for 1 more week and watch us get obliterated by a team that's probably going to win the damn Super Bowl this year. It's hard. I'm getting frustrated. Our emotions get tied in. And when your emotions get tied into something, you usually act accordingly. You act emotionally. Think of how emotional we are as fans with all the money and time we put in. But it ain't nothing to a gajillionaire he owns half of Manhattan. He's put all that money, all that time into it, and he's not used to losing. He's going to do what he knows how to do. I'm going to throw money at it. I want to do what I can do because he can always fire more guys. But one thing for certain he's never got. He bought the best defensive player in the league, so he's done that. He's bought the best quarterback coach, the new quarterback whisperer. He bought the new good guy coming out of New England, the one that's going to actually be a good coach. He's even taken shots on, doing things from promoting within, putting together what I believe to be a great staff. But he ain't never had no Dan Marino. And even when we had Dan Marino, it didn't win a Super Bowl. Yeah. So it usually takes 1 or 2 things to win a Super Bowl. A good leader and the team built decent around that good leader as a quarterback and an elite defense, or a mediocre team on defense with a freak of nature on offense, be a quarterback or a running back or a wide receiver that can just take games over like Julio Jones did for Atlanta when they went to the Super Bowl, like Derrick Henry does, throwing the whole, Tennessee Titans on his back, like Aaron Rodgers does every year, making them a big time contender.
That was quite an intro, but it's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's not only across the pond. No, that not only goes across the pond, but across the world. I'm Kadeem Simmons, got my boy Chris Adams with me. Charlie Touche is still on IR. Hopefully we get back soon. Keep him in your prayers. Your illness is just never ever fun. And yeah, the Dolphins lost to the Falcons with a basically last second field goal. I don't even know where to start. Like, again, during the game, after the game, it's been non-stop Watson talk. You mentioned the way Tua addressed the media, and I said to you off air that I was fortunate enough to speak to Tua last week, saw him live in person. He looked exactly the same. He looked like a player who had just lost a heartbreaking game, and knows that it's going to be placed. The blame is going to be placed on him, even if it wasn't his fault. Even if he had technically done enough to win the game, he knows that the narrative out of the game is going to be you let the side down. And when you're a young quarterback on a supposedly good team and you're being placed as the blame, it's difficult, especially when you're probably playing with broken ribs still, or at least fractured ribs, and you're seeing him, truck people to try and get a first down, juke people to try and get a first down. You can't ever tell me that this kid doesn't care about this team. Like, I know there are players in this locker room who cannot stay healthy, and yet Tua's the injury-prone one. Tua is playing through pain right now. He is trying to throw the team on his back, and I believe it's making him make poor decisions.
I agree. You actually said that. We said that to each other before the show, that it's like he's playing not the game he usually plays. He's playing the game that they're trying of guys that they want him to be. And I think he can be that, but they want it now. And I mean, I think that's where he gets measured to Herbert. Herbert's doing 400-yard, 4-touchdown games. And that's kind of not what Tua's game is. It's a strong running game. If he was like we said too, Tennessee, New Orleans, those kind of style teams where their run game and, bigger backs, not the scat back speed and stuff like that. But I agree, even not playing his game, he's playing good. He laid out some DB today. That guy had to go to the sideline.
Yeah,
he was playing tough. He's playing tough. He's playing hard. What do you? I told you there it was heartbreaking. Offline, it's heartbreaking because I thought last week or a couple days ago when I spoke to you that this team could put the team and fight for him, and that's what I saw. And the defense is really kind of what the defense kind of lost this game. Not alone, because it kind of came off of timely interceptions by Tua, but it was like the perfect storm of giving them the perfect ammunition to attack them.
Yeah, and even Coach Flores said after the game that Tua done well to get the team back in front, and that's all you can ask. It's one of them things where, after the Patriots game and Xavier Howard gets that stop and the Dolphins going to win, everyone was like, well, Xavier Howard won that game for the Dolphins. Tua tried to throw the game away. Defense got a turnover, and the Patriots don't score again. The last time Tua had the ball, he was making a great throw to Matt Collins, and the Dolphins were up. Tua was on the sidelines and basically said to the defense, "Get another stop." And obviously he didn't say this, but I can imagine, because if this was me, what I would say to the defense: "You won the ball back. I gave it away. I apologize for that.
Yeah.
But we're now playing with a lead. All you have to do is not allow the Falcons into field goal range. That's all you got to do."
Well,
And
Pitts killed us. That's number one. You saw that. You called that today. He's getting 100 yards plus. I'm like, I don't know, man. If Jones could be in there doing, dude, you were on the money. What do you get, like 160 yards?
I think so, yeah. And again, we said off air that last year I sat with 5-yard Lee, and as the Jaguars were driving down the field, I said Lawrence is going to pick on Noah, and he did.
Yeah.
I don't think Noah played bad last week, but again, he's a target. We could have got DeAndre Swift. We've got Noah. He's not playing. With the Dolphins up 1 and just over 2 minutes left in the game, again, I'm not blaming Xavier Howard for this, because the throw from Matt Ryan was on the money. Perfect.
Oh.
He put it right over Xavier Howard right before Holland could get there, in the only place that Pitts could catch the ball. But it's not like the Dolphins didn't have their starting corners today. They had both starting corners on a lot of money. And again, Xavier Howard's got an interception. Great, brilliant. Want to see more of that. But this was a Dolphins team which we wanted to, or we assumed the coaching staff wanted to run the ball well, not turn the ball over, and have the defense basically be the shining example of the team. That's why you pay both your corners to do that. And at the end of the day, like I said, Tua put the Dolphins back in front. After these 2 interceptions, the Dolphins are leading by 1, and they lose by 3. If Tua's on the sideline and the Dolphins go on to lose, how is that Tua's fault?
Yeah, but that's not what they're going to say, though. That's not they've been looking to blame the kid since Deshaun Watson was a conception. And it's almost like they've just allowed it to manifest. It's like I don't know, man. It's kind of like willed it into existence. They wanted it so bad that when it didn't, that this is what we get until it's going to happen. And it's just looked disgusting from even the defense. Like you said, the defense is making the big plays. They're letting them big bombs downfield. I mean, even the offense did all kinds of crazy stuff. Isaiah Ford got a touchdown today. It's his first in his entire career. It's like his 5th year. Mike Gesicki, beautiful jump ball. And I think all of us in our head, every time we think of Mike Gesicki, it's that jump ball. It's hike, chuck it up, and let it drop right in. And I don't care if there's 3 guys there. He's bigger, taller, and can jump just high enough to outreach it, and he does. And we don't see those things. We saw that, though.
Before the Gesicki touchdown, I think he tried it to Preston Williams, and Williams got his hand on it and dropped it.
Yeah, but that's what Williams does, though.
Yeah,
we've seen him with the stone hands before. He's good at that, like, quick snatch slant. It's just the limitations of guys. I get it, and that's them betting on their coaching, isn't it? And that's okay, but it seems like everyone and everything is prepared for all of the problems to be on one guy because there's an answer. Even like how they did the offensive coordinating. There's no offensive coordinator to even blame for the bad offense when it's bad and bad play calls. Like, is it Godsey? Is it Stoodsville? Is it the other guy that's the quarterback coach? Like, I'm just saying name off. Maybe it's a guy we don't even know. There's a 4th guy. He's in a black mask hiding behind the water cooler. You know what I'm saying? It's like they've made every excuse for everything. Even I don't want to call it an excuse because the players were saying they're just one play away, and they got some of them today. It's not like last week where they were one play away. They got a bunch of those plays this week. They just gave up a few. This week, any other week, it's just a tough freaking loss, bro. It's just a tough loss. Tua threw a couple of bad balls. Defense made a couple of bad flags. Even Austin Jackson in the 3rd quarter, did you see him? He was getting hyped up. And then the next play, he looks better at guard. The problem is the timing with this, that, like I said last show, this comet coming slowly at us like we think it is. they're so ready for this other solution. Some fans, the NFL, and probably most importantly, 2 owners. One owner wants the guy gone and not paying him, and the other owner would do almost anything to get him. That's a recipe for a definite happening, and right now it looks like a disaster from where I'm sitting. I think psychologically it might even be playing on the players. They all know. I mean, dude, could you imagine Tua, from what I could see, seems like the most charismatic, lovable person. And if you knew that they were trying to push that kid out because of the owner and the coach couldn't stop it, the GM couldn't stop it, maybe they all love him, and the owner's pushing him out, that would break a locker room. This might end up badly, and that's kind of why I, for better or for worse, I just want this stuff to stop. I just want this to stop. Go get the guy. Just make it over. Go get it. Let him do some jail time and let me, come back to love watching a winning football in 2 years. But don't torture this kid that's obviously good enough to be a winner and just destroy his confidence. Because I seen us do that to Tannehill and him almost lose his entire career. And they just beat the dog crap out of freaking KC today. They beat KC and Buffalo back to back. They look like kings of the AFC right now. And that was our guy. That Adam Gase, with all the back office crap that I see more of now, breaking another good talent. If Deshaun comes here and this is what my owner's going to love and not break next time, then just do it, bro. Make it happen. But is he going to get this kid? And when he falters and he breaks him, then I think it's time for us fans to stand up for ourselves and this football team and reach out to Ross and point the finger of maybe where it's going. And that, Ross, you are the wishy-washiness to this team, because I'm sick of watching this crap. I don't want to see kids like Tua that I liked ever since I saw him come at halftime a winner. I thought that was a good idea. And you just pull the plug for the next shiny object, like ADD style. If that's my owner doing that, I'm pissed. I will never stop loving the Dolphins, but I won't give them my money because that's the only statement I can make outside of maybe fans and social media and stuff, because do something, because people are pissed, bro. I was looking after the game, watching a little bit here and there, and people are infuriated, and it's 10 times worse than the Jags loss, because now we just lost to the Falcons and the Jaguars. We're the worst team in the league. We're going to lose to the Texans. And honestly, I think that's our fate. Loss, Deshaun, win the rest of the season, go nowhere. And call me a mind reader, but if that's the case, we'll all be like, well, hell yeah, at least we got something to build on next year. Or if he only loses one and he turned the season around, everyone's right now. Everybody's right. The owner's right. The GM's right. The coach is right. The new crazy thing that they, broke a good quarterback for what they believe to be a better quarterback. Everybody's right. Because last year, the year before, everything was right. Why is it all so wrong?
Yeah, you mentioned about the kid who's going to get the blame. That kid today threw for 291 yards, 4 touchdowns, 80% completion rate. The only other QB in NFL history to endure a loss with those numbers, Matt Ryan. The only other QB in NFL history to do all of that and throw 2 interceptions, Dan Marino. So I'm not saying Tua is Dan Marino, but Tua had a Dan Marino kind of game today. And
no, it's what they want. It's what they want. It's just not who they want.
And then you also spoke about how the locker room responded to, or how responded to this situation. And like I said, Mike Gesicki has that attitude of, if you're not going to pay me in Miami, I'll get paid elsewhere, because I am the guy. I am a baller. And I think the Dolphins posted a picture saying the face when you score National Tight Ends Day. And then Gesicki replied to that on Instagram saying, my guy threw a dime at Tua, man. We're just going to keep going. And then the emoji, like the zipped face. Read into that what you will. But again, if we assume that Tua's going and Gesicki is saying, we're just going to keep on going, is Mike going as well? And that's the other thing.
No, I think he's saying Tua, bro. With that, he ain't leaving right now, but maybe he's part of the trade. I can see him and Howard going for Deshaun with 3 picks. I mean, that's how crazy it's gotten too.
Mike needs to get paid by Miami and pay him yesterday.
Oh man, I want him.
If they want a tight end that can block as well, like a Kittle or Gronk, fair enough.
Yeah.
But Mike is a guy. You extend Mike, because Mike's another one who will go join, like, I can so imagine him ending up in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Dude,
he's the perfect Aaron Rodgers weapon, dude.
And again, it was one of those things where, and we talk about Tua's development. Do you remember Mike after his first season? Everyone's going, think the Dolphins might have missed out on this one because,
Yep.
And then Mike was like, okay, watch. And now look at him.
Yep.
And, I'm a Dolphins fan. I love Tua and Mike. And again, Charlie makes jokes all the time. Kadeem, stop getting these jerseys of players because they're going to leave. Listen, if it happens, it happens. But
no, that's not you, bro. That's we pay a talent. We love what we drafted, and the team gives them away, lets them walk. That ain't us. We buy the jerseys they're selling, and we want them, and it's our favorite player, and they get rid of these guys. It's not like when's the last guy retired for the Dolphins? They didn't even let us get to retire Wake, bro. Yeah. They let Wake walk. He was the most important man in Miami at that time. He was on every billboard, and I knew it was the time to let him walk, but pay the man out the door so he can retire a Dolphin. Do something. That's just the class that I think this organization's kind of missing, bro. And I don't know if it's Stephen Ross. I don't know if he'll do that again. It's bad because you're right. We're getting everything as fans, stats, everything. And none of the things that we're blaming are right, and none of the answers are fixes. But it's the impending thing that's going to happen. I don't remember if it was you that I texted. I texted you this. I wouldn't be surprised if the trade happens in 48 hours. Was it you that?
I think so.
Yeah. And look, that wouldn't surprise me because.
But it was me, because then we had that whole conversation about, well, obviously, Donald getting benched in Carolina means that they might be interested. And I've seen a few tweets already say that Carolina, really want him. And then I said, well, I can imagine Tua then going to Denver. And you said
Tua would be good looking. You said that to me. I think Tua would look good as heck in Denver. And that sucks to say that because he should be doing it here. Yeah. It could be one of those crazy things. I think I said it earlier where Tua ends up on Carolina. Carolina was never in the race for Deshaun. It was just Carolina was in talks with Houston about them. What are they going to do with Tua if they trade him? And they're like, we don't want Tua. And so here we are thinking Carolina is talking to him about Deshaun. And Deshaun's like, I'd never want to go to Carolina. I don't know who the heck you heard that from. Because that's the first time I ever heard him consider Carolina, up until they considered him, supposedly. And everyone considers having the best quarterback. Josh Allen right now is coming out on the market. Who's in? Everybody, even teams that think, everyone's got to inquire. So you can make up BS if you want as a writer, but the game itself was lost by more than a quarterback. And there's no way back to bring it around again, any ESPN guy is going to say it's Tua lost the game, and any real fan not know that, Tua threw that. Those are the worst interceptions he's thrown in his career. That's just it.
Yeah.
Those are the worst 2 interceptions ever, and they were ugly.
But but the thing is as well is that we've seen the Dolphins play this season with and without Tua. Now, I was part of the argument, or the part of the side saying when Tua comes back, he's beating the Jags, he's beating the Falcons. It hasn't happened. I need to hold my hand up and go, do you know what? I will hold this out. But I would like to think that every single Dolphins fan can agree on this, whether you're a Tua hater or you absolutely love him. The offense has looked 10 times better with him under center. So again, I then go back to the point. Okay, well, we saw this offense under Jacoby Brissett, and it stunk. It got shut out by the Bills. It was awful. We've seen this offense under Tua, the last two games, and it's a lot better. It's not perfect. Tua is making mistakes, and again, I was always the belief of the Dolphins got Tua because he didn't make bonehead decisions, but he's doing it. You can't defend that. So, if people think, okay, well, you then add Watson, then you start getting those wins. But again, you then go back to take today, for instance. Imagine the Dolphins are down. Watson scored that touchdown. The Dolphins are up 1 with 2 minutes, 27 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins defense allowed a 65-yard drive.
Yeah.
Like, no quarterback. And this is what frustrates me the most. I don't believe Tua is the problem. No. I think his play at the moment is part of a wider problem. And you know what? I think it's the first game where I thought the offense was good. Waddle played well. Waddle played great. The second played great. Gaskin was brilliant. He was. So again, you're then just going like, please defense, just hold out. Go back to that bend but don't break defense. Do something, and then we can get past this. And listen, I know we're going to get blown out by the Bills. I know that for a fact. But you just wanted this win because everyone would just be like, okay, let's slow down.
It would stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
But again, it just ripped it. Now we lost a limb, bro.
Yeah.
It's not a bleeding cut no more. We lost a limb. The defense, I wonder too, when we spoke about this last time, they bet on a lot of things and none of them have worked out. And even the things they could bet on last year, that even from 19 to 2020, kind of either they went up and progressed or they kind of were consistent. Guys like Eric Rowe and he made plays today, but he's not the lockdown tight end closer he was last year. Guys like Andrew Van Ginkel.
Who?
He makes plays, but he didn't take even he's not the same guy we saw speeding around the edge. And I get it. If you look at
I'm sorry, I don't know who you're talking about.
Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yeah, I don't know who that is because I haven't seen him on TV.
I get it. But he's busting him good. He deserves it. And listen, I was stoked about Gink. I was like, release the Gink. You know what I'm saying? And he gained some weight. As you can see, even on his frame, he looks a little bigger and heavier. But what the heck happened? Everything took a step back on everything we hoped would just stay the same. And we would be greater if it just took a little step forward. All the trajectory was going this way. And not only did everything just kind of plateau, it all went down. It all went down. And that's what it looks like. The only thing that didn't really go down in the last 2 weeks is Tua. If anything, you could see a better Tua in the last 2 weeks than you have every time. I think that was his 16th start? I'd have to go back and look. I think that was his 16th start and played game. And I bet you if we put all the numbers.
I think that's 12.
Oh, only?
Because the last season he was what, 6-3? Losses to the Bills.
No, I don't know. We'll have to look at the numbers. But I bet even if it's only 12, take the 12 first games of the last 25 good quarterbacks. Not great, but good. Even great. And people make the comparison like Peyton Manning, how many interceptions he threw his first couple of years before they, didn't give up on him in Indianapolis. And I said it last show too. Like, we don't like the plan changing. I was sold on the plan. I was sold on Tua. And I like what he's doing. The defense took a step back. That's Flo's unit. We gotta hold him accountable somehow.
Oh yeah. So very quickly, that was Tua's 12 start. 6-3 last year, 1-2 this year, and again. So this is 12 starts, and I understand it's over 2 years, all that kind of stuff. But
an injury riddled last year as well, coming back from a major injury. So there's context to those 12 games. Continue.
Yeah. 12 starts, and Dolphins fans midway through that 12 start went, he's done, he's finished, like move on. And you know, if you go back and look at 12 starts through, you know, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, there's bumps. Listen, I'm still expecting Josh Allen to go back to what we've seen because Josh Allen is boneheaded. But do you know what? I don't think that's the same Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen has it figured out now. You know, you see Joe Burrow torch the Ravens today.
Oh my God, bro! Did you see that? I thought I bet on a parlay. The freaking Carolina Panthers lost us. I mean, it was a 5-game parlay. I took them with the points. I never expected them to slaughter the Ravens like that, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Burrow looks like, and they gave him his weapon, and it worked. Like, we're all like, you're an idiot. You don't need Chase. You don't know what you're talking about, dumb rookie that ain't got no knee. He's out here. Chase had 200+ yards on a touchdown today. He's he's winning a rookie of the year, bro. Why did we get everything wrong?
I think it might have been the last episode where we spoke, or I've said it a few more times. Why are Miami the only team that don't have these really easy open downfield touchdowns? Literally, I'm watching on UK Game Pass. I'm watching the Dolphins game, but I'm seeing highlights. Every single touch from other teams is blown coverage down. Like, I think both of CJ Uzoma's touchdowns today, which I him just wide open, just going, "Hey!" the Dolphins don't get that. So then, I'm seeing people on social media going, "Tua can't throw downfield," and I'm like, I don't think it's that, because we never saw Brissett do it. Oh, we saw Brissett. No, we never saw Brissett do it. We saw Fitz just heave it downfield, and Parker made a great play. But I genuinely can't think of the last time a Dolphins quarterback had, actually no, Fitzpatrick to Gaskin against the Raiders, the screen.
Yeah, but that was a screen. That ain't downfield.
Yeah.
That's not overhead wide open. Gaskin made a play to the outside and took it up, bro.
Yeah.
You're right.
Nope. When was the last time?
No 50-yard bomb touchdowns that should end up on SportsCenter for us, man.
Yeah. Even the one we gave up, I think the second touchdown we gave up today, I think that was the first 45+ yard touchdown the Falcons have scored this season.
Oh, yeah. No, I got it written down over there. I said that's their first one all season. Yeah. And then they got another one to Gase Jr. He had like 2 50-yard bombs today. And in one game. 149 and 151-yard bomb. Like, one of them for a touchdown. The other one was just a big throw. Dude,
I'm not a betting person. Yeah, I'm not a betting person, but I put money down the Dolphins don't have that all season. They just don't.
If they'd let me bet it, I'd bet the Dolphins won't get it the next 3 years. The way I've been looking at it, it's been horrendous with that kind of stuff. And to me, that has to be a coaching issue. But if it's a coaching issue, we've had 4 different coaching OCs under. Yeah, but you notice something in common with those types of plays, and this is no knock on Tua. Tua's a young QB. Only veteran QBs end up finding that guy running free for whatever reason, because there's all this traffic and all this stuff going on right in your face, mid-level, and you're looking for your guys. Usually that blown coverage, that's never called. The guy tripped or he got on the outside of him, he just turned up. And that's practiced, but you got to be like that savvy QB. A guy like Matt Ryan, he's hit it a million times. Big QBs that hit it, like even with Matthew Stafford, he had a monster like Megatron in his early years to throw it to. So Tua doesn't have a guy as a young QB that's a just veteran monster that knows, hey, and tells the QB, hey, man, I'm beating this guy deep. I've done it twice. If I get out in front of him again, you got to throw me the effing ball. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nobody in the huddle saying that to him. And then Tua's not like, hey, you beat that guy deep. Don't run that route across. Run it up. And that's all it comes down to. That's just a savvy veteran play when it usually happens. But you're right. Yeah. Schematically, they're not working it out and doing it. It looks like that Adam Gase style offense.
I feel like thing is that I saw like Joe Burrow do that 3 times today alone. So it's weird. To me, and again, I can't remember what game it was this season, but it was like the first downfield throw the Dolphins took was like in the 4th quarter to like Matt Collins. And it's going, well, why Matt Collins? And for me, the reason the Dolphins don't have those kind of plays is because of the guys they send downfield. So you had a situation where it's like you've got, Mike Gesicki and Will Fuller when healthy and Jalen Waddle on these like 10 or 5-yard calls when you need 6 yards. And then the guys going deep are Isaiah Ford and Jakeem Grant and Matt Collins and Durham Smythe. And you're like, dude, that's the wrong dude. Because again, it's if you send Jalen Waddle on that deep post, he's getting it behind because no one is keeping up with Jalen Waddle. You send Albert Wilson on that deep post, he might drop it, but he'll get behind.
He's dropping it.
Yeah.
He might drop if you catch it, he might go the other way too, from what's going on lately.
You send Mike Gesicki on that, but
there's no Will Fuller. That's what we brought Will Fuller here for. So that's why I err on the side of caution for the GM, and I know they can go, well, the GM bought the guy for $10 million, he ain't playing. I mean, that he got injured. You can't do that. Will Fuller's supposed to be that. And you're right, coaching Jalen Waddle should be going deep downfield. I think it was the 3rd quarter today. Jalen Waddle caught a pass downfield for like 11 yards, 12 yards. It was the first time I seen him on the other side of that yellow line on TV catch a pass all year. Every pass is inside a 10-yard pass to Jalen Waddle. And I get it because he's got that elite speed to get loose and take off. But the freaking announcers said it. No, it wasn't the announcers. I don't know. Anyhow, they're doing the same thing they did to Jarvis Landry. They're keeping him on these pitches to the outside, everything like that. Jarvis Landry goes to Cleveland, and although he's not fast, as we know, and he has his limitations, they still say, I don't care. He's one-on-one on the outside or in the slot. We're going to run that Z pattern and try to hit him deep. And when they did try it, he's catching the ball because he's freaking Jarvis Landry. He makes great catches. Yeah. And for whatever reason, they're like, no, we're going to get cute, not to, go back with Jalen Waddle. And we're going to try to sneak Durham Smythe out there. Big, slow Durham Smythe running along the edge. We have missed things. They have called those plays. Like, there was a great catch by Salvon Ahmed today. I love that, and I think he's good. He's a running back. They got to practice that more. I could see him being one of those dudes just stride for stride, put the ball with some air up. But then I wonder, are they not calling that because Tua can't chuck that thing 65 yards? I've seen him heave it and him do it, but is that piece of the limitation that we've had on this team? I've seen Fitzpatrick heave it. Maybe that's what we're missing, dude, that flick of the wrist and it's 60 yards. And if that's the key element of the difference between the quarterback they want and the quarterback we got, and that comes to our league and our team, then what I said earlier about fans coming and going, then nobody's going to go nowhere, because I don't care what you do, as long as his legal stuff gets worked out and it's not what they say it is, and it could be more probably blackmail or speculation at that point, because from what I understand, there's been some blackmail and stuff like that too. Some of those people did that, and Deshaun Watson has claimed unofficially that he has reason to fight it, and he did. So it's not like he just threw his hands up, you know what I'm saying? He's fighting. So there might be something there on his side, but outside of all the legal nonsense, if that all goes away and he's on this team and he's hitting that bomb we want to see so badly, bro, we'll be happy, So I don't know if that takes us next. And I know I harp on it, but this is what we get when you lose football games. Yeah. We look for answers to stop losing, because it's an emotional game to play. It's an emotional game to watch. We cuss, we scream, we yell. Some of us drink beer and smoke cigarettes to take the pain away, bro. I mean, do whatever, dude. It's just like, God, why do I watch this team? And then next Sunday, I'm talking to myself, you know what? I think we can win this week, and I won't be thinking about it against the Bills. But I'll be figuring out a way to talk myself in how we're going to beat the Houston Texans. And if they do beat us, I'll just hang my head even lower, I guess, bro. I don't know. I'm not going to go anywhere. I love the team, so.
Yeah. You'll probably be on here talking to me and Charlie about it. So
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
When the win comes, it'll be so sweet. I'll have earned it so much. I've paid such a penance. I was born in South Florida. My whole family's Dolphins fans, bro. We've gone – the first game I ever went to, man, when I was a kid, I must have been 9, 10 years old, watching Dan Marino versus Kelly and the Bills in the Orange Bowl with my grandpa and my dad throwing hands. I'm maybe 11, 10. We got into a fight with a bunch of Buffalo Bill fans, and then that security came and threw them out. And like everybody was cheering and stuff. And we ended up beating the Bills, and I was hooked by that day. I have family that loves the team. I've always grown down here, so I'm not going nowhere. Even if I got to deal with a bad quarterback, so I think the first franchise to deal with some baggage player on their team. Look at Dallas. Dallas don't give a damn. They'll sign murderers. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a damn. It's all about wins in this thing. This is still a business, and I've given a lot of time, energy, and money and emotion and love. So I just want what we all want. We want to talk about wins. We want to feel good. We're not even, at this point, we're not even greedy as Dolphin fans. We never thought, in our wildest dreams, we thought Super Bowl. But we weren't counting on that. We were like, hey, we won 10. We know we got lucky, but Tua's freaking the man. We love Tua. We like the plan. Chris Greer, Brian Flores, Coach of the Year last year, should have got it. We talked about these guys like they were the best, and they were for the first 2 years. And now it's a slow train wreck into a slow plane crash, bro. It's just the worst. And because of that, they're going to do the unthinkable. And if it turns into eyeballs on the TV, the business side works out, and we start winning and stuff like that, it'll be fun to win, because this is terrible. This is terrible. We hate this. And, my son is 9, just turned 9. He's watching Like It Football and plays it. Do I want to banish him to a lifetime of this? Do I just let him pick his own team, or do I raise him as a Dolphins fan and torture him his entire life? Of course I'm going to, bro. What are you talking about? He's going to his first football game next year. I would have gone this year for a bunch of freaking losers. I was planning on going to a bunch, but we'll see, man. It's coming. We'll get there one day. That's all there is. Look at the Browns. Look at the Bills. They hung on to ever. And finally they got their QB. And it sucks, but Tua's a good QB, but it takes a freak of nature to win Super Bowls, to get Aaron Rodgers. I watched him today. Their D sucks in Green Bay. Their D is terrible. Their team is terrible. It's Aaron Rodgers and whoever the hell he's thrown it to, plus another freaking Devontae Adams. It's those two guys marking any team they can. And until you get against the Buffalo Bills that got a great defense and another freak athlete on their team, then the playing field gets evened. So what do you think, man? You think we make it to another game with Tua as our starting quarterback? Or do you think we get the news in the next 48 hours? And if they do, you're going to go on right afterwards. You got to talk about it. That's breaking news, brother. You need to tell me what you think on right on there. You got to holler. You got to say something. I got to get an update and see that you guys posted a video. Charlie going to have to roll his butt out of the bed to say, I can't believe this. He's not feeling well. What are you going to do?
I'll answer that in bonus time.
All right.
Before I get to bonus time, quick Tua stat. Tua's 13 games. 2,358 yards, 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 87 passer rating. Listen, I still don't think he's a problem, but who knows? But, thanks for rocking with us. I'm Kadeem Simmons, here with Chris Adams. Make sure you catch us. I still don't know how it says it. Thanks for joining us.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
That first. As well.
Like, subscribe, shoot comments. Let the boys know what you're thinking. Let us know the state of the team. Kadeem's smart guy, as you guys can tell. Make sure you can get some feedback. Tell your friends. Help a brother out. And then what were you going to say? Go Time Dolphins from across the pond. Stay
Again,
positive. Test negative.
Yeah, it's thanks for joining us this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Times. All right, safe.
Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Well, if we don't laugh, Kadeem, we're just gonna jump off the closest bridge, man.
Yeah, definitely. Message your brother-in-law because the Dolphins open up as 13 points underdogs against the Bills.
At least it's not 21 or something. 20. Did you see the two lines at the 4:00 games?
I didn't know.
Okay. Cardinals favored against the Texans, 20.5 points, and they covered. They covered, bro. Then, guess what? 11.5 point favorite Tampa Bay over Chicago. They covered. The first time ever with two spreads like that covered at the same time. I bet the parlay for both teams to cover. I won. I didn't bet a lot of money or anything, but I won that. It was I took what I think my brother-in-law spent 20, and me and him and I each spent 20, and we won 40 back each or something like that. Profit. So we won 60 back or something like that. But I don't bet often, it's just when you got nothing but a losing team, you might as well throw a couple bucks on something else because I got to have a reason to watch some good football. When I watch a lot of these other teams, that's how I make a lot of my analysts about the team and what wins in the NFL. It was Zonk that won us in the 70s and undefeated team. It was a power running game. It was a smash mouth. To get yourself primetime football games, to be a primetime, dude, look how many friggin' primetime games Indianapolis got this year.
Yeah.
Look how many. Why? They had Phillip Rivers. They lost Phillip Rivers, and they didn't do nothing in the playoffs. But they got Carson Wentz. They went to the playoffs. They get all these primetime games. And although I don't know the score on the Indy game right now and what's going on,
they were, I think it was 13-12 to the Colts at halftime.
I don't trust Wentz, but don't be surprised if they go to the playoffs. And not that there's a conspiracy, but Vegas, the NFL, all those other things, look at that team. They give them primetime games. They give them good point spreads. And those teams do better. And what's weird to me is that for the first time I can remember, Vegas is picking the Dolphins to go to the playoffs. And we won only one freaking game right now. Vegas lost big time on that one. So something really bad is happening if Vegas loses money,
Charlie was telling everyone in the preseason, go to Vegas and, bet it over on the Dolphins winning something like 9 games. I think that's what they open up at.
Yeah.
Again,
They beat the spread 9 games in a row. They were the best against the spread all year last year, which means we overachieved all year last year. It's just another good data point to use. Betting is a bad thing. I don't really like to get involved.
I don't do it at all.
I don't like, a couple dollars here and there for some fun when someone else is doing it. That's cool, but I don't put no money in betting like that. But it's a good data tool to use when you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on with your team. Because, bro, look at the other NFL. We said it, and I hate to say it again like we did last episode, but, where's our freak athlete at, dude? Where's our monster? I was hoping, Jalen Phillips is going to be that. And I still think he can. He's just young. I can't wait till him. He's got to still be growing. He's 21 years old. He might grow another 2 inches or inch and a half and put on another 20 pounds in the next 3 or 4 years. So, when you're young, you're still finding your body. He hasn't figured out that he can just manhandle fools because he is a freak athlete. But what sucks is that the other kid from the same school that didn't play in Rousseau, he's on Buffalo. He's got 6 sacks right now. He could win Defensive Player of the Year, and we could have taken him no problem. Just like when we passed up to T.J. Watt. Remember who we take that year?
Charles Harris.
It was Charles. Oh my God, I want to throw up just saying that name.
But then Charles Harris is having a decent time in Detroit. Detroit are losing, but Charles Harris has. I think he
looks like the best Charles Harris he's ever had in Detroit. Yeah. But it's on a shitty team, bro.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
What the hell does it matter in Detroit? No expectation, no pressure. And I think that's what comes down to the end points of the game. When the expectation's high and the pressure is so much that only diamonds can hold up, you got to shine like a mofo, bro. And Tua kind of fell a little short.
He kind of did. He kind of did, but
the defense failed him. They didn't hold up their end of the bargain. But if he'd have taken that sack instead of throwing that interception and just settled for a field goal, he wouldn't have allowed them to lose the game. And if you're going to be the man, you got to be the man, bro. That's it. And it's not the nail in his coffin like I alluded to earlier, but they're already flirting with somebody else, man. It sucks. Yeah. I hate it.
You asked me if this is Tua's last game as a starter in Miami. I truly want to believe that he starts against Buffalo and that he starts the rest of the season. I truly want to believe that. I refuse to believe that the Dolphins are going to trade for someone with Watson's off the field issues. Now, you talk about the character you want in the building and, like I have to say, blue chip personality over blue chip talent. Watson is the complete opposite.
It is.
I refuse to believe that the Dolphins are going to sacrifice what they built over the last 3 years to bring in Watson. But as everyone says, Ross is getting older and he might want his guy in now. It's 3:10 in the morning for me. I need to get to sleep. But
no doubt, brother.
Before I shoot, I'll same question to you. Who starts against Buffalo on Sunday?
Well, as quick as I can say it, man, I think it might be Deshaun. I don't think Deshaun starts, but I don't think it's going to be Tua. I don't know what happens in that, but going to the business side, you just said Tua's probably still playing injured, playing tough. He's going to play injured and play tough. When did he get hurt? He got hurt in that Buffalo game. He goes out there, he gets injured, he ain't worth a damn thing. You're probably going to trade him while he just did all he could, and the defense lost it. And if you're going to sell him, this is probably the highest you can sell him before you got to buy that other guy. That's it.
Well, we'll find out. Every time my phone pops off ESPN application,
I know my heart sinks a little bit. I keep looking at the corner over here. Something scrolls down. I'm like,
Yeah,